Yo, Osti Productions, Peter Alex Gale here, and I want to talk to y'all about One Piece. So this is like the first review on the channel, so I'm testing things out, seeing if you guys are interested in content like this. Um, I'm a big enjoyer of movies and TV shows, obviously, and I do have thoughts. I don't want to, make it my whole like channel is reviewing, but if this is something you guys are interested in seeing, I can kind of like pop in here and there for the big stuff or the small stuff, whatever you guys are interested in, or whatever is like, you know, strikes me. And yeah, give you my quick thoughts on it. Not like a crazy in-depth review or anything, but just some, wet your whistle, give you recommendation, tell you a little bit about it. And you come here for your like I'm your new like review guy now, right? So yeah, why not? Why not me? So anyway, I want to review One Piece live action. I think it's subtitled One Piece Into the Grand Line. It's the Netflix live action show 2026. Just came out like last week maybe. So hopefully I'm still relevant on this. But yeah, I want to give my non-spoiler and then spoiler thoughts. So first few minutes will be non-spoiler, and then I'll go spoiler for a little more in depth, not too long. I don't want to take too much of your time. So as always, thank you for watching Osti Productions. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, follow on all social medias, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Upscrolled, and whatever else we're on, Twitch. We appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. Okay, One Piece Into the Grand Line, live action, Netflix. What were my thoughts in a non-spoilery way? So I think that if you watched season one, this is much of the same. The main five Straw Hat crew characters, actors are pretty faithful to the adaptation. Everything's pretty faithful, but especially them. This is good casting. Iñaki Godoy is Luffy, literally. Like, if Luffy was a human being, that's Iñaki Godoy, right? He's energetic. I don't want to, say uh, what he might be in real life if we translated it, but you might catch my drift what I'm putting down here. And he annoys everybody, and he is Luffy. That's Luffy from the anime and manga, and that's how he is in the live action. So Iñaki, brilliant job, probably the best translation from source material to live action. So Nami, Zoro, Usopp, and Sanji, again, same, not as good as Iñaki, I think, maybe with the exception of Zoro, but they're all good. They're all pretty much more or less their characters from the manga and anime. I do want to say about Zoro real quick. This is not a spoiler because he was like this in season one, but they seem to have toned up his aloofness, his cool guy persona in season two, where he's pretty much acts like he doesn't care about anything except fighting and drinking and sword fighting, swordsmanship, I guess. And it's like, yes, that is Zoro, but he's a lot more than that, especially in if you've watched part one of One Piece or read part one in the manga. Zoro used to laugh. He used to kind of be Luffy's more like, not like best friend, but more like, a banter partner or something, something like that, like more chat, more personality. Part two, he's much more, as towards the end of part one and part two, he becomes much more serious after his training with Mihawk, but he's like that the whole show in this one. So maybe McKinney, I think, is the actor, just heavily based his portrayal on part two and kind of disregarded part one. So I wish there was more like part one Zoro, because this is supposed to be part one of the manga and anime, but he's doing it. He's doing his damn thing. McKinney, he's killing it, and he's swole and he's yoked, just like Zoro should be. So shout out to you, McIntyre, for hitting the gym and being committed to your role. I love that in an actor. Okay, so non-spoiler plot. I'm not going to get into it too much, but you guys have seen from the trailers. It's about Baroque Works. It's about Vivi. It's about Chopper towards the end of the season. Drum Island. King Wapple's in it. No spoiler there. The King of Drum Island. All that kind of character arc is in it, and it's been publicly announced. Crocodile's in it. Nico Robin's in it. But I won't say too much about them. I'll say that for the spoiler. But those are the main kind of new characters. So if you've seen that plot line, you know what that's about. And yeah, I think they adapted it pretty faithfully, more or less. There are some key differences, I think, but it's hard to adapt something that was so long in a manga series and in an anime series. You're talking, dozens of episodes, hundreds of episodes overall, into like an 8-minute live action thing. And also the budget is crazy. I believe the budget is over $200 million. It might be 250. but it's at least over 200 million. And I believe it's one of, if not the most expensive Netflix series ever. So crazy. Shout out to Netflix. Like, y'all spending that bread. Listen, man, I'll work for way less than that. Just saying, anybody from Netflix is watching this, but yeah. So I would say you can see where the money was spent. The effects are good. Luffy's powers are good, just like season one. Zoro, the choreography is good, top notch. As much as can be expected from a live action. Obviously, you're not gonna get one-to-one anime choreography because it's an animated cartoon, but as well as a live action can do it. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed season one personally. I know some people had a problem with it. I don't think it was like a perfect season, but it was good. Like, it's One Piece. It's goofy. It's hard to adapt. It's colorful characters and all hair colors and pirates and stretchy powers and devil fruits. Like, it's wacky. It's supposed to be wacky, and in live action, that's just not going to be as permissible or as believable as it is in a cartoon. So with that constraint, yes, they did a good job. I do recommend it, especially if you're a One Piece fan. But look, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho live action. I don't know if you guys watched that or you're familiar with that series. I mean, there was Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. There was Yu Yu Hakusho. There was Death Note. And I will say, I'm going on record. Okay, this is the best anime adaptation of Netflix has ever done, including One Piece season one. It's better than One Piece season one. So, and you listen, I'm a Yu Yu Hakusho big fan. That's my favorite anime. And when I saw that live action, listen, when I tell you I crashed out, okay? We ain't gonna talk about that though, because we're gonna keep this review positive. So overall, Netflix, non-spoiler, season 2 live action, I'll give it a recommend. Definitely recommend watching it for One Piece fans at any level, small, medium, huge. It's a different take on it. It's nice to see these characters brought to life, kind of what they did with it. I know some people have some problems with casting of Vivi and different characters. There's a big character who's a Straw Hat who appears later, who's from, I'm not gonna say who, but I'll leave it for the spoiler, but his casting was super well done. I believe that's him. I think that's him, but I'll leave that for the second part of this video. But anyway, I do recommend it. Non-spoiler review. Yeah, go watch it. It's good. It's good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, it's pretty good. Pretty good. If you know that, you're a real one. All right, spoiler time. So as for the spoiler section, thanks for making it this far in the video. And I'm going to remind you one more time to please subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so spoiler, I want to talk about Nico Robin and Crocodile. Crocodile is my favorite villain in One Piece. Nico Robin is a pivotal character in One Piece, especially in the whole thing, but really as the story goes on. But her role in the story is huge. So this was announced that they casted them. Joe Manganiello, I believe that's how you say his name, is Crocodile. The makeup is fantastic. The scar is fantastic. He looks like him. He's dressed like him. He's got the big hook, gold hand, and with the poison, if you know. So that's good. They killed it. He's not in it enough, is my biggest gripe with that. He's in it for, a few minutes in the last episode. And I get it. They were this was not about him in Alabasta. They haven't even gotten to Alabasta. But, so he's going to be in it season 3. But, the last season was in 2023. So it's like, when is the next season? 2029, 2030? Like, come on, man. The actors, in the manga and the anime, these are 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds, right? Early 20s. By the time season 3 comes out, I don't know if they filmed these back to back. I hope they did. But geez, if it takes another 3 years, like, she's gonna be like the 40-year-old Straw Hat. So come on, guys, come on, Netflix, you can do it. You gotta speed it up. But anyway, watch it so they can make it faster, right? We all need to watch it. So anyway, yeah, Nico Robin is good. Casting is good. She has an accent, kind of like Eastern European. I'm sensing. So I don't know if that's like accurate to the manga. I don't know if that's accurate to what Oda said that she was, but maybe they're like not really going by his thoughts of what the characters are or where they are from in the real world. But I think it fits. She's dressed like Miss All Sunday. So no, like this is like, you can tell Oda was involved. You can tell whoever wrote it was a One Piece fan or at least has read it, which is very important because it's not always the case with anime adaptations. Dragon Ball Evolution. Listen, we're not going to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution in this video. But King Wapol, that storyline, Drum Island, Dr. Hiralik, Kureha, Chopper, love Chopper, very cute. Like I said, the budget is crazy, so a lot of it probably went to Chopper's CGI. I think they nailed it. His beast form is appropriately scary, I would say. Something between the Grinch and the Cat in the Hat, if they had a very, unfortunate looking mutant child. So you know what? But you know that's kind of what it's supposed to be. So it was sufficiently scary. I think they kind of did. They understood the assignment, right? But yeah, Chopper's cute. He's cute. There's gonna be a lot of Chopper merch. So that's good, I guess, for Netflix and Oda. But they got his character right. He's you know he's smart, but he's afraid. But he's kind of a little kid. But he's cute. But he's unsure of his place in the world. He's learning things, and it's like you know it's like that's Chopper. So and you know he joins the Straw Hats, and it's pretty much what happens in the manga and the anime. So they adapted that beautifully, I think. So about one thing I Brooke. So okay, there's a character who in one of the episodes where it's a Laboon episode, they're in the whale and you know they're stuck in the whale and the whale's crashing its head on the rocks, just like in the anime and manga. There's a character playing the Binks song. You know, I can't say it. Copyrighted. You know the song. So on a violin or something, right? And it looks like Brooke in human form. Now, this was a flashback, so Brooke is a skeleton, right? As we know. But he had the hair, he had the top hat, and he's black with an afro. And I don't think he was black in the anime and manga, but you know, that's inappropriate. I mean, who's who's gonna be mad at that, right? Oh, they made a white guy with an afro into a black guy with an afro. If y'all mad at that, check your priorities in life because you are lost, my brothers. Okay. Anyway, so Brooke, I believe that is him in human form. That's what I want to talk about on the non-spoiler side. But so Brooke he becomes a Straw Hat, you know, and later on in the story. But I think they showed him as a flashback of him in human form, and I want to say he looks great. He looks extremely accurate, and yeah, like I'm looking forward to seeing how they do like the skeleton version of him. But I liked his look. He's based on Slash, if you didn't know, from Guns N' Roses with the top hat and the afro, a musician. So yeah, they showed him, and that's a good like Easter egg. So now we have what, like 6 out of 10 Straw Hats revealed in some form. Chopper, Brooke, Nami, Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, Usopp. Seven. So we were just missing Jinbei, Frankie, and who's the last one? Jinbei, Frankie, and Nico. I'm dumb. Yeah, so actually we're at 8. We revealed 8 Straw Hats out of 10, so just literally just Jinbei and Frankie. So it's crazy. That's good because you know they're not even at the full 10 Straw Hats yet, which is like it does take a long time to get there in the anime. So in the manga, so that's good that we're at 8 at least. So maybe next season we get up to hopefully Jinbei, at least show him. Okay, and Baroque Works. So Baroque Works is heavily featured in it. They're like the minor antagonists. They're jobbers. They're very powerful and scary at times and dangerous, and they do kill people. That's another thing. The violence in this show is real. Like they didn't hold back, and they show Zoro's victims, and he does kill people. Oda doesn't like to show that, like people dying. He does show like what implies somebody is dead after like a sword slash, or you know, Luffy would knock them so hard they, you know, fly into a mountain and the mountain would shatter. It's like probably they're dead in real life, but in manga anime world, you know, maybe they're alive, you know. But in this one, no, there's no doubt. There's literally they flip over a dead body and it has sword slashes from Zoro, and so it's no doubt. So I like that they didn't shy away from the violence and the killing and the murder. But you know, this is like TV 14, I think. So parents, you know, advise accordingly your children. This is a children's shonen manga and anime. So I mean, Japanese children, I guess. But you know, I don't know if American children have different sensibilities. But so that's the thing to know. But I like that because yeah, Zoro is a pirate hunter. He carries 3 swords. So I don't know how you're going to non-lethally, you know, deal with threats with your 3 swords, right, and leave them alive. And it's like this isn't Rurouni Kenshin, bro. Even in that show, they killed everyone except Kenshin. But anyway, Baroque Works, yes, more or less nailed the casting. They're good. They're scary. They're threatening, but they're not. But they're still clearly jobbers. And you know, at any time, Luffy or Zoro could beat them, even probably Sanji. But Usopp has a special episode where he takes them on, and it's not unlike the anime and manga. So I like what they did with them. I like that we're just kind of getting introduced to Baroque Works, and they're definitely gonna have a big role in the season. Oh, Mr. 3, David Dastmalchian, he was perfect. Another like thing of like basically spot on casting, like a Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, right, or Iñaki for Luffy, like. Very good. David Dastmalchian is a great actor. You guys know him probably from like Batman: The Dark Knight, Suicide Squad. He's been in a lot of things. Late Night with the Devil, and he's in Street Fighter. I think he's I think he's actually M. Bison, which is that's definitely a choice. But you know, if anyone can pull it off, it's David Dals freaking Malchian. So shout out to him. Shout out to Mr. Three, one of my not favorite characters, but I like that whole story with him and Buggy. When they do Impel Down, it's gonna be. I wonder. Oh, Buggy's in this. Yeah, Buggy's back in there. So they do have those two. So that's gonna be an interesting pair up when they do uh, Buggy and Mr. Three. That's like a good comedy, underrated comedy duo for sure. But anyway, Brokeworks. Yeah. So you got to Crocodile, you got to Miss All Sunday, Nico Robin. So looking forward to more Baroque works. And yeah, man, like I think that they pretty much nailed the villains. And yeah, just I love that we're so far with the Straw Hats. So one thing I will say about Wapol is so Arlong was the final villain of final boss of season one. Arlong is like a goated early One Piece antagonist. Like Arlong, he gives you you know, the vibes of like this is a villain, this is a strong, powerful in the sense of his empire, in the sense of his control over East Blue and Nami's village. And you got that from the actor, you got it in the anime and the manga, but you also got it in the live action. And the fight was good in the live action. And so it was like satisfying. It was a satisfying final fight for Luffy. Now, Wapol's the final antagonist, the final boss in season two, and I wish it was Crocodile. Because look, Wapol is, you know, he's there in the manga and the anime, and like he has a cool devil fruit, I guess, but he's just not, you know, he don't have the same je ne sais quoi. You understand me? The je ne sais quoi as Arlong. Like Crocodile would have been a great way to end the season this season, but that would take like another like 20 episodes at least probably. So I think they're doing maybe like I don't know how to range it, but I would say between like 5 to 10 episodes per episode of the anime. So you do the math. Alabasta is probably like 100 episodes. So yeah, it's a lot. It's 10 more episodes, right? It's like see, that's probably all of season three. So but like I said, I like how Crocodile looks. But anyways, but Wapol, yeah. So the final fight with Wapol was not like terrible, but it wasn't as good as Arlong's. And Wapol is not as good as villain as Arlong in this show or in the anime or in the manga. So I think that they should have used Crocodile, just you know, fit it in and maybe have his first fight with Luffy or just make the season longer. Would that be such a crime? You know, Netflix, listen, help me help you. But anyway, so that would be my biggest gripe. I think Wapol's not a strong final antagonist, but he's like that in the source material. So what are you gonna do? And they can't make it that long. Dory and Brogy are in this. That was a very good storyline. Not sure how much they adapted it from the original. I haven't seen all of those episodes and chapters. I think they pretty much nailed it, or it's pretty close. But I don't know. I could be wrong. If I am, please shout at me in the comments and tell me how wrong I am. Please, I love to be corrected publicly. Honestly, like no cat for real. What else? Dory and Brogy, Usopp got a little character arc. Zoro, actually, all the Straw Hats got a little character arc. And oh yeah, Vivi's in it now. I know some people have some problem with the casting of her because she's very white looking in the anime manga, and she's, I believe, Indian in this adaptation. I don't necessarily have a problem with it because it's not core to the character. Like if it's, you know, I've heard this example. I talked about this in my last Asti or like two Asti casts ago about race swapping, and people always say, well, what if T'Challa from Black Panther was a white man? You wouldn't be cool with that. When in response to Idris Elba almost being Bond because he's black, and I guess Bond is white and British and English, even though there's a lot of black British and English men. But you know, sidebar. So Vivi is Indian. Look, it's fine. It's fine. Like I think that the actress is a great actress. I think that it's not core. Her skin tone is not core to the character. Look, they all dyed their hair. Looks like a lot of them did, at least. Some of them wearing wigs, but a lot of them dyed their hair for this role. So I respect the dedication. Look, I love actors who are dedicated. Like I said, Smoker and Tashigi. I want to talk about them real quick. Smoker is like probably the second besides Iñaki for Luffy, the best cast character. Nailed his personality, nailed his speaking pattern. He got 2 cigars. Oh, the effects on Smoker are so good. They're so good. It's like I guess that's probably easier because it's like probably like a smoke machine or something, and just, you know, some CGIing of the actor out of the frame, the shot, whatever. But no, that was good. That was good CGI, and his personality and his clothes are like 1-to-1, like great, fantastical. Tashigi, same thing. But, you know, Tashigi's like a less compelling character, so he's not going to be as interesting as Smoker. But yeah, Tashigi basically same thing. Nerdy sword girl, you know, on and off kind of situationship with Zoro. But will they, won't they? But Zoro's oblivious. But, you know, it's I don't know. To me, I ship it, but a lot of you may not agree with me. But there's definitely some energy like that. Oh, another thing, Sanji and Nami definitely have more romantic chemistry in the live action than in the anime and manga because we all know Oda doesn't do romance like that. Oda does a lot of things. Romance ain't one of them, right? So it's not about that. But in live action, it's kind of hard to not have it be about that because you have a bunch of like young 20-year-old something kids, on a ship together, like constantly alone with no parental supervision. You have men and girls, or men and women, I should say. Men and women, I should say. Oh man, shout out to recent events, but we're not going to talk about that. Men and women on the same ship, and they're talking, and they're getting close, and Nami gets sick, like in the source material, and so there's a romantic angle with Sanji and Nami. Listen, I like it. I think they work. I think they did it well. So no problems there. If that's where they want to go with future seasons, that pairing, I don't have a problem with it. It's not canonical One Piece. It's not Oda One Piece, but this is not necessarily Oda One Piece. It's Netflix One Piece. So a lot of people are very they're like anal about it has to be one-to-one uh, uh, accurate to the source material. I'm not one of those guys. I think it's a different form. It's an adaptation, right? So what does that mean? It's whoever rented this license, Netflix in this case, wanted to do their spin on it. Now it's still One Piece. It's pirates. It's devil fruits. It's fights. It's traveling. It's the government, the Marines. All that is there. But they're not going to do exactly the same thing as the anime and manga because why would they? Why would you watch it? You would just watch the anime and the manga, right? So like, cut them some slack. That's my perspective on it. If you disagree, be sure to, again, yell at me in the comment section below. I do appreciate and read all of them. So don't be shy. Get in there. Final thoughts, wrapping up. Listen, I think this is, like I said, the best Netflix live action anime adaptation to date. Better than Yu Yu Hakusho, better than Death Note, better than One Piece Season 1. One Piece Season 1 was good. This is better. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Is it a perfect show? No. And I think that's the nature of adapting a very long series into 8 episodes on Netflix. It's going to be difficult. You're going to miss things. You're going to condense things. But yeah, overall, I do recommend it. I liked it a lot. I like it. I like the stock. Okay. So tell me what you thought about One Piece live action season 2, One Piece Into the Grand Line on Netflix. Hit us up with a comment. Hit us up on our other socials. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Upscrolled. Shout out to Upscrolled. Follow our Upscrolled. I like saying Upscrolled. And man, Twitch, man, listen, watch out for live streams. We might be doing those later. I'm your host as always, Peter Alex Gale, writer, director, filmmaker, producer. What don't I do at this point? And that was, so Asti Productions.